Welcome to the Nameless podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's podcast of Parashat Mishpatim. This week we have a very important podcast because in this week's Parsha we talk about slaves. So the second pasuk in this Parsha is, when you acquire a Hebrew slave, that person shall serve 6 years and shall go free in the 7th year without payment. Rashi talks a lot about this verse. The first thing he says is, what does a Hebrew slave mean? Does a Hebrew slave count as a slave who is a Hebrew? Or is it a slave that you buy from a Hebrew owner? Rashi goes on and brings proofs about it, but eventually decides that it talks about a slave that is Hebrew. Now, Yadid, I have a question for you. What do you think about having slaves who are Hebrew? Are we supposed to accept that it was going to happen anyway, so we might as well have laws about when they go free, or should have been banned altogether? Yeah, I think that what he says is important because Hebrew owners will anyway have Hebrew slaves. The thing that, yes, today in our moral standards, it's unacceptable and it shouldn't have ever been a thing. But when you think about it, just the fact that we have rules about how you should and how you shouldn't treat slaves, it was a big deal because in other nations, just people could do whatever they want to their slaves and they'll be slaves forever. That's an interesting thing. And later on in the Parsha, it says that it offers a way to stay as a servant or a slave to your owner. And I think this shows that there were reasons and people in ways and nations around Israel that people had reasons to stay slaves or servants. And this offered a way to bypass this tradition in the way of 7 years while still keeping an upgrade and a way to get out if needed.
Going back to Rashi, Rashi then also asks, what does a Hebrew servant mean? Does a Hebrew thief who was sold by court after he got caught is a Hebrew slave, or does a Hebrew slave only count people who sold themselves into slavery on account of their destitution? Rashi concludes by saying that it is pretty obvious to him that they're talking here about people who sold themselves rather than people who were caught by theft or by any other crime and then were sold by court.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for listening and see you next week at Parashulma.